was early 90s, and the wars were breaking out all over Eastern Europe. And everything was so tense that my parents weren't sure what to do. So on my mom's side, her mom kept telling her, like, no, you have to get out of here. Things are not going to be good in the future. Like, go, go, go.
Her family pretty much left the country during the Second World War, and they all immigrated in the United States. So she tried also for us to go. The conflict in the former Yugoslavia started in 1991. By that time, we were that generation of people who graduated from colleges and had to start our careers, but that was almost impossible at that time. For those 2 years, we were trying to see where we can go and try maybe new life somewhere else.
It was pretty bad time, economically more than anything else. We were struggling, so we wanted to leave.
They packed 2 suitcases, one each, had $600 in their pockets, and bought a ticket and fled to actually England.
That didn't work out. We applied for Canadian immigration papers, which did.
The situation back there was so bad that I was always hoping that wherever you go, it will be a better starting point for you, you know, because I think at that time we come to the bottom.
Try and score against Isabella, and then the Crusaders and Truman, okay, are going to try and score this way against Austin. I'm from a small town in northern British Columbia called Fort St. John. Like everybody in Fort St. John, I got into hockey pretty early age. I started with speed skating and then transitioned into hockey when I was 7 years old. I was fortunate enough, some really great coaches growing up. Just made hockey so much fun for me when I was younger, and I was really fortunate enough to play in my hometown all the way up until I was 16 years old, and I got an opportunity to go play junior hockey in a town about 5 hours south of where I'm from, in Prince George. Made a team there, played there for 3 years. While I was playing there, I got recruited by Michigan State and came and visited campus here and fell in love with the place.
He's from Fort St. John, British Columbia, number 27, your team captain.
I felt like it was home when I first got here, and I remember having a feeling walking around campus where I knew that this is where I was supposed to be. And I had some great experiences going to visit other schools where they do a nice job, and it was just that feeling of, well, this is the place to go. And a lot of people, talking with some people afterwards, when you know it's the right spot, that's where you end up, and yeah, and the rest is history there. Playing here was fantastic. It's when you come in here, Coach Mason always had a speech, I think, prepared for us at the start of the year, saying these are going to be the best 4 years of your life, and it's and some guys kind of laugh at it at the start, and then at the end of the 4 years, you're like, man, that was pretty good, and then you look back years later, and you're like, man, he was right on. It was, my experience here was next to none. We really got together as a team right from when I got here on campus. You got people from really all over the continent coming together to play, and then you feel like you're all pulling for the one same thing.
Back on defense, Brad Fast comes up and upends Chris Sebastian.
Well, he was an outstanding player here and an All-American, and you know, wore the colors really well. And you know, one thing that we talk about and we're trying to implement is, you know, just to have our defensemen more involved in the offense, and that's kind of the way the game has gone. And in order to score goals, that's necessary. And Brad was certainly that type of player.
He missed on it. Now over to Freder, circle near side. Freder back up to Lyles. Lyles dishes to the far circle, Fast. Steps between the circles, fires, it's a goal for Michigan State.
Fessie's had a great history here at MSU. He was a stud back in the day, and we always see a bunch of highlights of him, and you know, just looking at the stat sheets and the All-American pictures all around the rink, it's pretty evident how good of a player he was, and you know, he's a Spartan through and through, and that's what we want around here.
The trifecta of the social aspect of a big university, the great schooling here, and then the unmatched hockey program. It was just a no-brainer. We had really good teams. I think that we were ranked first in the country as much as anybody else, or more than during that time. We went to a Frozen Four. Some of my teammates had some great personal success, like Ryan Miller, he won the Hobey Baker. And then a lot of us were fortunate to, after we graduated here, to go on and play professional hockey. I was drafted by the Carolina Hurricanes, so once I was done with my senior year, I signed a contract with them, went and played some games with their minor league affiliate, and then started my pro career with the Lowell Lock Monsters of the American Hockey League the next year. Got a game with the Carolina Hurricanes.
With 5 minutes remaining in regulation, rookie Eric Stahl brought Carolina within one. Moments later, Brad Fast, playing in his first and only NHL game, beat Roberto Luongo to even the score. The Southeast Division rivals couldn't break the stalemate in overtime, making the contest the final tie in NHL history. For his part, Brad Fast became the 4th player to score a goal in his lone NHL game.
It was incredible. And then when he scored, I mean, I'm proud of him all the time, but I think that I just knew that that was just a moment that is so huge.
The experiences of pro hockey were everything it's cracked up to be.
When we were in Korea, we had a baby over there, so Beckett, our middle one, was born over there, and it kind of got a little crazy, and we were like, you know what, I think it's time to retire, so we did. It was a natural progression to come back to Michigan State. We love Michigan State. He played here. We both graduated from here.
My wife is from Swartz Creek, which is just about 40 minutes down the road here, and we had been coming back here in the summer to do training and hang out in the off season for the whole time I was a professional player. So we started to establish some roots here, and then really became home for us.
It's great. I couldn't imagine it any better. I joke around saying that I won Where in the World Will We Live when it was time to make the final move. This was the natural place. And it's so nice, of course. Being a part of Michigan State again is huge.
Now that my parents were in Canada and my mom was getting her master's, my dad was working, and they were trying to raise me and my brother, life was tough for them. They had school, they had work. So my grandparents, they would grab a visa and come over for 6 months and then help out, raise me and my brother, and then they move back. And then a couple months later in the summer, they ship us to Serbia, and we spent a lot of time with them. So a lot of our culture at home and then over the summer was Serbian.
And that exposure to some other world, they will appreciate this one much more. So I think that was good balance. And the grandparents just loved it, to be with grandkids. You know, it's normal, they will do everything. And that freedom that they could feel, they didn't have to sit in the car and go somewhere. They can walk, my kids could go by themselves to the store. They're a different type of lifestyle there, so I think it was good that they learned how the things work there.
We spent like 9 months of the year together so often when I was younger, and she was always such a positive influence, and when she was around, I always had to be around her. When she was like talking, I always had to be focused on her, especially when I was getting a little bit older, like 9, 10, 11, 12. Like, she was more of a positive influence on me. I kind of understood her view on life a little bit differently. Again, it's that same thing. Like, all right, it might be tough now, but it will be all right. Just keep sticking with it, you'll come out all right. And then being immersed in that culture kind of just like meant a certain resilience, because like everyone was like so molded by the war and so much tension. Like, everyone had a certain edge to them. Besides the food, besides the breads and the family being over there, like, I think my brother and I have adopted a certain type of resilience just growing up in a more Serbian culture. As tough as it was in the beginning to like leave our friends and kind of be uprooted for 2 to 3 months, like, it ended up being worth it in the end, because we got to see so many different experiences, got to become so much closer to family. And in that sense, it's like it's always family first.
Now remember, what was my goalie tip? Now be big. Be big. Right there. That's harder for them to score now, isn't it? Do you feel huge? Oh, nice shot. Sometimes when it's a nice shot, you don't have a chance. But you get out, you're nice and big, and you will.
Brad does a little bit of everything. He works with kids in just about every capacity, from coaching to working with our coaches that coach them. He's run off-ice training with them. He does, you know, some of our hockey clinics. He does, I mean, just there's so much that he does around here. It's really difficult to tell you, just to narrow it all straight down now.
Oh yeah, flying. Hurry, hurry. Are you allowed to hold the puck with your hand, Coach Kevin?
I've been out here about 6 years now, and so I haven't known the community without Brad, and quite honestly, I'd be really scared to figure out what that looked like. The kids love him, the parents love him. He gives honest and, you know, true information. He has the kids' best interest at heart.
He is just so good with kids. He has a way of getting them to listen and pay attention and respect. He definitely demands respect out there, but I don't think that he really even has to try and get them to respect too much. He just listens and he knows the game. He's really good at it.
It's yellow and blue against green. Whoa, what a shot.
I started playing tennis when I was 4. I kind of hated it in the beginning. I wanted nothing to do with it. I would rather stay home with my mom, watch cartoons. Something clicked, and then I decided, like, yeah, Dad, I want to play tennis. Like, I love tennis. Get me a racket and let's go. Since then, I've been in love with it. My dad's been my coach ever since.
They kind of always expected him that he will be playing. It was just a matter of him figuring it out, because I always dragged him like a couple times a week. I mean, he started hitting balls when he was 4. It was a matter of him to become more serious about it.
It's tough to distinguish between father and coach sometimes, and that's kind of what makes the dynamic tricky. Luckily, I was patient enough with it that we were able to stick through it, and then we were able to work out the kinks, and in the last 10 years, like, it's been going really well. He's been my #1 role model, my #1 motivator. All the tennis success I've had, I owe a lot of it to him. It was kind of a chance happening. There was actually a point even when I wanted to quit tennis, like right before the summer, that I kind of broke out a little bit. And I was playing well that summer. Everything was going pretty well, and then Coach Orlando was luckily at a tournament that I was at. And then I played well enough for him to become interested. We kept talking, and 2 months later, I was able to commit. I knew that MSU was the place for me. And for me, I was like, whatever anyone else said, like, that didn't matter, because MSU is the school I want to go to, so that's the school I will go to.
I described the great coaches that I had when I was younger, and the impact they had on me in youth hockey, and I'm hoping with them that I can portray hockey in the same light that it was shown to me. I think that it's a great sport, it's fun, the friendships that you make, the experiences that you can have with it are next to none.
With Brad, one of the things that we get out of it from a selfish standpoint is he's outstanding at his job here. He's great around campus. He knows where everything is, and he makes life real easy on Joe and Chris and myself. But the added bonus is what he does in the community. You know, he's on the ice with all 3 of his son's teams. He's involved with the schools. He's involved with youth hockey. He's just a very good man and good father. And I think, you know, for us and what we're trying to do here and trying to make sure that we're in the community, he's a great liaison and does a great job.
When Coach Cole asked me to stay on through the change, I was honored. I thought that I love this program, and to stay on and be part of it and be part of something exciting and new again here with the new staff has been great. It's challenging every day, it's fun every day, it's new every day, and I appreciate being part of that. When I got the job, I remember driving in that first morning. You drive in, you see campus in that beautiful morning light. You drive past the Sparty statue, past Dem Hall, you got the stadium on one side of you, and pulling into Munn here, it was just, I mean, again, you just have that great feeling, you know, that this is where you're supposed to be, you belong here, and yeah, it was fantastic. And really, there's not a day that goes by where it's not the same. I take the same way into work still, and have those same thoughts every day.
We went over in May, spent a week and a half, maybe almost 2 weeks there with her. My brother and I, we like took her on all of our adventures. We like walked around everywhere. We had her like walking 5, 6, 7 miles a day, but like she wanted to come. She was always like, yes, let's go, let's go, let's go. I want to show you guys. And then we did, we took her everywhere. And then everything was fine. We were having plans for her to come over, like for her to get under a 6-month visa, come in November and stay until May. Unfortunately, she had some issues in early September. She was hospitalized, and one morning she had a stroke and passed away.
Ciao. Ciao.
I was beyond lucky to be able to go back in May, and that trip was my favorite trip ever because I got to see her so much, and I got to see her at that time, and still got to enjoy her while she was happy and smiling and always willing to do things. And it was beyond important to me that I was able to go and see her 4 months before she passed.
I'm thinking about that all the time. How, I mean, it was planned perfectly. You know, the way that things happened afterwards, that was great. That they had time, money to make that trip all together. And I mean, she loved 4 of them to spend every minute, and it was really great. Priceless, as you said. That's exactly expression.
It's a very, I think, immigrant mentality where the goal of the parents, like the main goal, is to set up your kids as well as possible. She had this mentality like, yes, I had to do whatever I can for my kids and then my kids' kids, for them to have as best of a chance as possible. That's why my grandma was like, no, like this is not gonna be good here in Serbia. Like you have so much more opportunity out there in the world. Like go explore, go find somewhere else. Like it'll be okay. And then that's what my parents did for me here. Like they knew that I could have gotten a good education anywhere. They knew that I probably could have played tennis at a lower tier D1 school or some top tier D3 school. They wanted to give me the best opportunity to succeed in life, so they pushed me to play D1 tennis. They wanted me to get into as good of a school as possible and play as high a level of tennis as possible. And that's kind of that mentality trickling over from my grandma, just pushing for a better chance in life, just for having more opportunity for success.
Hey! Yes! Let's go!
I feel like my perspective has changed in these last 4 years. Like walking into those tennis facility doors as a freshman compared to now is a completely different feel to it. I feel like sometimes I'm the one, like my grandma was, like pushing for the freshmen, the sophomores, to have a better chance of success in tennis. It's like doing what I can, not only to promote my tennis, but to promote the MSU tennis program as well. The fight is there every game, every point, every match, and I love seeing it out there. I'm beyond proud of you guys. MSU tennis is resilience. We work hard, we're a gritty team, we're tough, and like no matter what the score is, no matter what the situation is, like I believe that my guys will fight. The resilience that my parents have had in their upbringing and their trip over to the United States has molded me as a tennis player as I am today. I have her name and the date she passed on my shoes, and every time I slide, every time I look down at my feet, I see her that she's still there. Every time I look up in the sky, I know that she's there watching me too.
I think he is believing in his grandma, that she's looking at him and give him the directions.
Welcome to the Value City Arena in Columbus, Ohio. Today, Michigan State wraps up the regular season, taking on regular season champion Ohio State.
You want to end the regular season on a high note. Ohio State is a very good defensive team all around. Our top guys have to be better here tonight.
From Milan into the slot.
Yes!
Shot, goal for Michigan State. Kordarenko right down the middle. Spartans lead at 1-0.
That took all of 11 seconds. can see how important it is, Scott, right? Winning those face-offs. Michigan State wins it. A little bit of a different look there. They're able to get it to Patrick Kordorenko high in the slot. He turns, fires, keeps it low, beats Romeo, 1-0 Michigan State.
Buckeyes control, and there's a quick shot from the right circle and a goal.
Buckeyes tie this up with a power play goal of their own.
Each team with a power play tally. 1-1 tie. Rosberg goes cross ice. And a shot from there. Shot, goal for Michigan State. Off of the rebound, Lewandowski from the left circle. The Spartans are back in the lead. Inside of 12 minutes to go in regulation. The Spartans up by 1. 2-1 over the Buckeyes. On the Buckeyes senior day. Shot, goal. Brody Stevens with a rifle right down the slot. And the Spartans have a 2-goal lead. Loose out in front, shot, goal. And it is a 1-goal game, and expect Sean Romeo to head to the bench as soon as the Buckeyes can get it into the Spartan zone again. Back down to Lazinski, bottom of the left circle. Moves out, takes the shot, save made, into the slot, moves around, over to the near side, 5 seconds to go. Miller throws it to the net, loose at the top of the crease, and the horn sounds. Woo! What a scramble at the end of the game. And Michigan State, for the second year in a row, knocks off the league champion on senior night on the road. The final score tonight, Michigan State 3, Ohio State 2.